Being recorded. Hello, and welcome to this class called Why Most Money Mindset Advisors Fail and What Actually Conscious Wealth Creation Means. We are going to spend next 30 to 40 minutes together where I am going to explain you why most of the money manifestation advices that you find online, find outside, they really do not give you result after a certain point. I have so many people who have come to me and said that Simpa, I have tried this manifestation tools and technique. It has given me certain result, but after that there is nothing. So today I'm going to break it down to you why most of the popular techniques does not work and what can actually work for you. I am going to share my screen for that. Yes, is being visible. So we are getting into why most money mindset advices fail and what conscious wealth creation actually is. Now, most of the time for manifesting money, people give like advices like, why don't you just say positive affirmation? There are so many people I have seen who frantically keep on saying, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, but when you say things like that, that is quite far beyond where you currently are. Your mind simply reject it internally. There is going to be one internal voice, no, I am not. No matter how many times you try to tell yourself that I am a millionaire, I am making money, but your internal part of your brain, internal part of your psyche is really screaming that no, we are far beyond from that. We do not have money. Our bank account is running low. We do not have enough money to pay the next bill. Right, so this is one popular belief that is there, that use affirmation. Then strict budgeting and willpower. Oh, why don't you budget more? And then people start to cut corners. Then probably I need to save something here and there, and I will be able to have more money. But most of the time, even when you try to cut corner and save more, restrict yourself more, you will eventually find some way through which you will have to let go of the money. For example, there are many people who have said that I tried to be so strict with money, but then this sudden expense came in. My car simply broke down. I didn't expect this bill to come, so it comes in. No matter how much you try to save, no matter how much you try to budget, cut corners, something or other comes in your way that again wipes your bank account. Then another popular belief that we have, that like work harder, earn more. Even people I have seen who are like a high achiever, who are making quite a lot of money, like really there are people who get up at 6:30 a.m., go to the like office, and then get back home at 11 p.m., thinking that, oh, if I really want to scale up, if I really want to make more money, then I really have to work harder. I have to build way more companies. I have to put way more like extra attention. I have to manage more people, only then I can have money, which is again not true. We are clearly now in an age where we can see that muscle power does not generate money, but mind power does. And even when it comes about working with the mind, there are a couple of layers of mind. uh, like I am just getting to that. And then acting as if, fake it till you make it. Oh my god, like in this manifestation era, where there are so many like manifestation guru coaches out there in the world, constantly telling that, like, why don't you just fake it, why don't you just go and purchase something, giving yourself the feeling that you already have the money. So you get into the trap, you spend your money on something that is way beyond your current financial reality, and you probably get that luxury bag, you get the luxury thing with your credit card, and then at the end when the bill comes for you to pay, you do not have money, and it really backfire. So even when you are frantically trying to be someone who you are not internally, your mind will automatically reject, right? And this is exactly why, because there are layers of our mind. This is one very popular image, probably you have already seen or you do not know yet, that was given by popular psychoanalyst, psychologist Sigmund Freud, who gave us this map of mind. Most of the time we think that what we think, what we think consciously, what we do consciously, that can give us result. But at the same time, most of the time we do not even know what are the layers of the mind. This conscious part that you can see, it's only the 10%, that's the tip of the iceberg. So all the thought that you have, all the ideas, belief that you have, like it comes under this conscious layer of mind. But this is not it. There is this way deeper layer of mind that we cannot see, which is preconscious and unconscious layer of mind. Okay. In this preconscious layer of mind, there are memories. This is the part of mind that we most of the time do not have conscious access to, but given the time we can trace it back. For example, you can have access to a lot of memories from your childhood even though you do not remember it all the time, right? So we can access to this part of the mind when like we really sit back, try to think. And this layer of the mind, unconscious part of the mind, that is so deep rooted that most of the time we are not even touch with this. In the world of psychology, this part of the mind, this unconscious part of the mind, is also portrayed as if you have a huge palace and you can access to all the place in the palace, all the room, but there is one hidden room. There is one hidden dark room with heavy lock, that you do not want to open because you fear what is there. Inside all of our mind, all of our psyche, we have this part that most of the time we are not even in touch with. But this is the part that really generate most of the thing that we do, most of the thing that we quote unquote manifest in our life, that we get in our life. For example, all the fear that you have, the shame, guilt, anxiety, the shadow part, things that you really do not want to see, all these things go into this deeper layer of mind. And why it's so important to understand this structure about mind when it comes about making more money. When we try to follow the general advices that is given, that is thought that is going to fit for all, we are normally trying to work on the conscious part of the mind. But what I have told you, that it's the deeper layer of mind that really control things in your life. I will give you one example to understand. There are a couple of money pattern I am going to share with you, and something or else you are definitely going to resonate with. For example, some large number of money comes to your bank account. Let's say you have signed up a client who is paying you high, and all of a sudden you have this extreme guilt. Oh my god, how can I take someone's money? If I have taken their money, then how they are going to function in their life? I have seen this similar guilt pattern in a lot of people. Whenever there is some like large amount coming in, they cannot process it. There is some kind of guilt, some kind of uncomfortable feeling in the body. I personally remember there used to be prolonged years, many years, when I wouldn't open my bank account, by the way, because the number would just give me anxiety. Any notification from the bank would simply give me anxiety, and I wouldn't know what is actually happening, even though I was making money to pay my bill. But every time some like email or notification from the bank would pop up, there would be strange kind of anxiety in my body. There can also be um this fear that if I have more money, something bad is going to happen. If if I do not spend the money, I just feel restless. Overspending, impulsive spending. No matter how many times you try to budget, limit yourself, something or else will happen that will simply not let the money be in your bank account, grow in your bank account. Where does this part come from? Because when you really sit and try to think why my deepest layer of money issue is coming, you cannot do this with the logical part of your mind, because this part of the mind, the prefrontal part, it's it can help you with like logic, rational thing. You will try to justify thing, but yet you will not be able to find the answer, because the primitive brain that we have, like uh, at the back of this mind, this primitive part of the brain, it holds all the fearful response. This fear that something bad will happen, this fear that probably there is not enough money. If I charge more, how can I charge more? Who am I to charge more amount? Who's going to pay me? Where does it come from? To For us to be really able to make money over and over, it's more like rinsing and repeating the process. You made the money, and it's not the full stop. You rinse and repeat process, and you keep on making more and more money. What can we do to actually receive that state inside us? So till now you have been probably doing all the work on this 10% layer of your mind, but this rest of the 90% that probably you had no idea about, and even though you may had some idea about, you didn't know how to work with. Today I'm going to help you with that. So how these deeper layer of mind really function, they come as automatic behavior, emotional trigger pattern. No matter how many time I apply for my promotion, I simply do not get it. And on the deeper layer of the part comes core belief, the shadow part of you, the family patterns. What are shadow? For some of you, this term can be new. Even though, once again, in this market, this kind of terms are being very popular, but most of the time, people do not have clearer idea about what are the kind of thing being talked about. So, Shadow is simply the part that we try to put under the rug. I will give you one example. Let's say, as a child, you really wanted to, like express your creativity in some way. Or let's say you had some desire that your parents say, no, we do not do this. Any part that has been rejected inside you that goes in under shadow part. Let's say someone, a child used to be kind of angry, like that child did not know how to manage anger, how to regulate anger, how to express anger. And every time the child used to get angry, probably the parent would slap him, slap her, and tell them that how many times I have told you to keep your mouth shut and not to react in this way. And this thing kept on repeating again and again over the years. So the child will learn that this is a part I should not be expressing, but there will be many behavior through which this anger will leak out. It's not that under the layer of shadow only quote unquote bad things are there. There can be many gift. As I say, anything that has been rejected, that that was like repressed, goes inside the shadow part most of the time. And then later in the life, you do not know why you have physical health issue. You do not know why you have this tendency toward like committing some kind of crime. It feels like irrational thought, but there is something that has been suppressed in the deeper layer of your mind. So what can wait so what can actually bring the shift? For us to be able to really a shift, we will have to access what is going underneath. And for that, we will really have to sit down over and over and look into our pattern, our fear, our core belief, our childhood history, our family history, our parental, like our ancestral history. And many times, the social conditioning, the social narrative also play a very, very big role. Now, these are the kind of topic most of the time we do not talk about when it comes about manifesting money. No one really takes you to your deeper layer of your mind, in your somatics, and help you explore what is happening inside. Today I will give you a glimpse of how to do the work. As I said, first of all, sit with your pattern. What kind of repeating pattern do I see in my current financial reality? Is it more like no matter how many times I try to do a job, I just fail? Is it more like no matter how many times I apply for this promotion, it does not happen? I am just stuck where I am for years. No matter how much money I make, I simply cannot save it. To go from where you are to where you want to reach, we really have to look at your current situation without shame, without guilt, without fear, and through the lens of simple curiosity. That I am willing to see what really happens inside me that eventually end up, keeping me where exactly I am. When I was like working on my money journey, there was a point there was a point that you know I would have nothing in my bank account no matter how much money I was making, as if money was simply like going away from me without me knowing where exactly it's going. And when I really sat down with myself, there are of course many things I found. As I said, that this kind of work is multi-layered. So I had deep abandonment wound. For what kind of childhood I had, because my mother was constantly under the threat that my father will simply leave her. And even after I came to the world, after my birth, we would really be in this fear that probably father is going to leave us, and this constant fear again and again that, oh my god, something I love is really going to leave me. The energy of money, energy of creation, and energy of love is very similar, very similar. You cannot have incredible like life force inside you and not having money. That's not happening. And by money, I mean like abundance, wealth, having and at the same time, you cannot have the abundance, the resources, the wealth with a terrible mind and terrible body, because the energy, the force that governs the money, it governs the energy of creation, of love. We are not going there today, but let's come back. So because I grew up with this intense fear that it's going to leave me, eventually what used to happen, that money would leave me. There is a saying, what you fear too much comes to you. And then of course I also had this generational story of scarcity. My father, he came from the background of rural Indian farmers, where they would make peanut amount of money every single day, and they would have to really think about how can we survive the next day. So this deeper layer of scarcity wouldn't really allow me to have the money even though I was making the money. And this is exactly where the deeper layer of like childhood war, parental story, ancestral war becomes so important. Your your psyche will not allow you to have a different story than what your parents had or your ancestors had. Now this story can come up in different forms, in different forms because we inherently want to feel loved, we inherently want to feel belong to our family system. Anytime we even imagine ourselves going beyond what they have done in their life, there is a part who is going to shrink us back, that you are going to be loved and you are going to be seen, acknowledged, addressed as a family only when you go through this similar suffering. Mind you, these are not conscious layer of functioning. This come to the unconscious subconscious layer of mind. We are not even aware why we keep on being stuck in the struggle. Many times child even find terrible health issue as a language of love to be there with their parents. So looking at the story, there are three kind of work I am asking you to do today. First is literally listing down what kind of childhood I had, what kind of money story I grew up with, what are the memories I have, what did I learn about money. Because as a child you do not have the relationship with money, You have the relationship with people who were managing money. So most of us, we have carried their projection. No one does business in our family. We all are for a job. Oh, you shouldn't take that much risk. You simply go for a job. You see, when a child start to hear this kind of thing, the child is never being able to trust their own ability. That child will never get into this world, take risk, and even when they want to take risk, they will fail, because in the deepest programming, there is something else going on. What are the fears that you have around money? How anxiety shows up about around money? What wars will happen if you really make the money? For a really long time, I had this fear that someone is going to loot me. Then I realized it's a story that I was carrying inside me, which was not even mine. Some kind of incident happened with my ancestors, which I didn't even know, but my psyche really picked it up, because we come from a family tree, and we inherently carry certain traits of our ancestors. Like this new field of study that's called epigenetics that has emerged, that really shows how, if your ancestors have been through terrible life experiences, it's going to impact you. For example, if any of your ancestors went through partition, oh yes, that was another factor why I had this deep abandonment trauma. Because this is something that I carried from my mother's side of family. My mother's parents, they really had to come to India in the time of separation, partition. And my like dadu, we call it in Bengali, mother's father, he had to come first. Then after a couple of years, my dida, mother's mother, had to come. And this longing to go back where you truly belong, this longing of this heavy feeling of leaving your loved ones, this kind of heavy emotion can really leave a deep impact in your genetics, and it shows up inside you through different ways. So your fear might feel irrational, but trust you me, it's not. It has its own root. We just need to keep on doing the work systematically of opening up and seeing what is happening. So by now you have little more understanding of a structure of our mind, how it's not only the surface level work that we will need to do, and how the deeper layer of our mind is really impacted by our childhood story, ancestral story. It has our fear, anxiety, right? And we will really have to bring all of this into light. Mind you, this is not work of one day, because when you start to work on all the layer, first of all, we have very strong defense mechanism, that is protective barrier. Your mind will simply not allow you to visit difficult memories, because it really wants to protect you. And this false sense of protection, that, oh, let's not like start the business, what if you fail? What acts as a defense mechanism for your mind, that don't want you to be harmed, that don't want you to face the uncertainties, the same part that keeps you where you are, in the suffering. Let's not go there and explore the childhood abuses, because it's so overwhelming, we do not know what to do about it. Let's not go there. So it really takes time to like visit the memory layer by layer from different lens, different perspective, to be able to see what is already happening. So now you see why only a farming I am millionaire is never going to work. If in your school you were asked to like recite a poem or write something on blackboard, and you could not do that, and the entire class made fun out of you, and from that you really stored this deep shame that I should not go out and talk about what I do, I should not go to my boss and ask for promotion. You see where the seed is. And behind your money situation, there are multiple such layers. This not being able to trust yourself. What if I fail? What if no one buys? Belief about your own self. Belief about the world. What if no one pays me? Belief about money. पैसा तो आता ही है जाने के लिए. Money just come to leave. And these belief has been so strong rooted inside you that without opening the layer one by one, we cannot just scratch the surface and expect a long term result. And when we do this deeper layer of work, the changes that comes, it comes on a cellular level, it comes on somatic level. You form a different identity, you become a different person. Your entire body is going to vibrate on a different level. Even when you sleep, you are going to have a different kind of belief. Okay, I hope this much is clear till now. Now let's go. So, what brings the actual shift then? Not only working on the surface level, but creating a deeper impact, working on the deeper layer. Now, here is the next question I want to ask you. Most of our life, we have been taught to think about our life in certain way. Ki, like complete your study, do these studies, do go for engineering, go for being a doctor, and only then you are going to earn money. And then again believing what kind of life you should have to feel rich. It's very pre-decided for most of the people. I still remember there was a friend of mine who came to me and said that, Simpa, I just keep on, like spending money no matter what. I will not simply have the money, but I do have branded clothes, I do have car. And when I asked him, tell me a little more about your childhood history, he said that because the kind of school he was going into, everyone was quote unquote rich, and his friend would wear branded clothes, and from there he would really come back home and ask his mother, give me those branded clothes. And even beyond their budget, then she would allow, um, she would simply buy him the branded clothes, and he would have this feeling that, oh, then I'm equal with my friends. And from this false sense of being rich, now as an adult, he got into this habit of spending money on branded clothes, on gadgets, on car, and not having money. Actually, for most of the people, our idea of money, success, wealth is very predefined. And again, it is also very culturally impacted, especially at this time where we are today. There is this notion that you need to have this luxury bag, you need to have photo at luxury places. And like, of course, these are external factor, and even when we exclude this external factor internally, many times our internal compass is not is not functioning at our will. It's again like the compass has been programmed by our childhood story, our parental expectation, our ancestral story. So you still feel you have to show up for the job even though every part of your being really screamed that I am meant to do something else. I am meant to create different kind of life. Like even for me, I really felt that I was also brainwashed that I really need to have this luxury bag. I need to, do this treatment on my skin, on my lash. Like I'm just speaking from being a woman. And most of the time, we really forget what our own definition of success is, what our own definition of having wealth, having money is. How much money I would love to have, what kind of mental peace I would love to have, what kind of freedom I would love to have. And mind you, the first thing that I talked about, that what how much amount of money I want to have. Money can never give you the sense of safety. It's an illusion if you think so. Yes, money is a great tool to give you choices, but many people still do not have freedom with money. I have a friend who is dating someone, and this woman, she earns a lot, and you know, she is like no matter like her marriage is broken, she does not wants to stay there, but she still is staying. So then my friend says that she really does not want to stay there, but she will not quit. She has the money, but she will not come out. It's here, it's in the mind, it's in the body. So money is not equal to always freedom. It's an amplifier. Money is really an amplifier. It's really going to amplify what you feel inside. And this is exactly why it's inside out work, not outside in. No amount of money can give you the sense of feeling loved, being taken care of, being cherished, like having this sense of safety, security. But when you start to feel secure and solid inside, I promise you are going to have different kind of money that really feels very soulful feeling. So today I want to ask you, what is your definition of wealth? What are the pillars of it? The pillar of wealth is definitely like your financial condition, how much you are making, if you have enough to do the things to maintain the lifestyle that you want. Then your mental health, how you feel inside, how you feel in your body, your relationship qualities. These are very very important factor about creating success, making wealth, making more money. And you cannot choose a fulfilling relationship if you do not identify for yourself, where did I learn that love should feel like this, love should look like this? Where am I doubting myself that I cannot have more than that? If you have bad health condition, once again, like all the physical health condition that you have, by all mean I mean all, it has its deeper root to the psychological and emotional issue that is so deep rooted. So when we can work on the psychological and emotional issue, physically you will feel the relief. I was diagnosed with bipolar borderline anxiety, and of course physically I used to be so weak. Look at my image 7 8 years back. Like anyone who can scan aura, who can sense energy, they can clearly see how broken my energy field was, how weak I used to feel. And when I started to work on my trigger trauma wound, I was able to quit all the medicine. I was able to quit all the therapy that I was taking. My mental health is better, my physical health is better. And relationship, of course. having people who you really feel like vibe with you on soul level, who are solely there to support you, cheer you up. It needs certain kind of clarity inside. Now the next point is, how do we then step into the creator consciousness then? Now, when it comes about mindset, there are two kind of mindset we talk about. One is victim, one is creator. The victim part is the one that feels that, oh, my life is like this because something happened to me, because something happened externally. I cannot make more money because there is war going outside, there is recession, there is like bad happening financially, so I cannot have more money. My mental health, my physical health, it is bad because my parent earn more than me. I mean, of course, these are very sensitive topic. I hear you, but at the same time, when you start to feel that you do not have any agency, you become a victim of the situation. No one deserves to be abused. No one deserves to be traumatized. But after a point in your life, it really becomes your responsibility how you do not let what happened to you dictate rest of your life. And this is exactly where the creator consciousness comes in. You have the sole agency to create anything that you want to create. Yes, it's like I'm saying it again and again, like this is not a quick rich program. This is not like, I'm not going to tell you how to make quick money, but I can definitely tell you, when you gradually start to work on all the layers of trauma, when you start to unpack what happened to you, why you are where you are, why certain kind of financial reality is happening to you again and again, when we unpack those layers and we do the healing work, you become a new person. You can truly rely and trust on yourself that I can create something. And by the way, it's a choice. It's a really choice. By this, I do not mean that something can be done overnight, but this is a choice that you make over and over, that I see where I am and I do not let it decide where I can be. What happened to me, I could not do much about it, but I can definitely do a lot about what I can create. Stepping into the creator consciousness is actually taking your agency, that I have my free will, I have my choice, and I can do a lot around that. I can figure out like where I am functioning. And when you start to act from a conscious creator, you can really take a different step, you can really make different choices, you are really going to find your way out. There are some people who say, oh Simpa, I do not have money, I cannot do much about it, क्या ही करे, पैसे ही नहीं है. And there is some other set of mind that say, I am willing to see how can I make the money so I never have the money issue, and I'm ready to do anything for that. I'm ready to do the work, I'm ready to sit with myself over and over, because I know I have this power, right? I have a program called Conscious Wealth Creator. It's a lifetime program. Today I really broke down to you what does this consciousness, this wealth and creation means. You can really choose what you want to have. You can really build a version of life that really resonate with you, and you are the creator. How we do it? Conscious Self Creator is a lifetime program. That means it keeps on evolving. That means you get to have all the previous classes, all the upcoming classes. You can get coached by me. What exactly do we do inside Conscious Self Creator? Everything that I talked about, we work on all the layers. From building your relationship with money from the scratch, from seeing where it started from, how my relationship with money that is based on scarcity and fear, how it got developed, and how I can shift it. Healing the childhood wounds, the mother and father wound, the ancestral trauma, we work on all the layer. This is a trauma informed container. That means we heal the trauma. We go to all the layers of mind. We work on the mind. We work on the somatic. There is a lot of nervous system work that we do. That means we create this capacity, that safety inside our body, that having more money is safe. I really do not need to reject money every time money comes to me. I was there for a long time. I shared no that money used to come. I used to feel so anxious, and there was some way I would spend all of it because somewhere having the money did not feel safe. Why? Because in my somatic memory, there are a lot of other people's memory trauma that I was carrying. And of course, then childhood conditioning, childhood experience adds up. You cannot have more money without creating more capacity inside your body. So we work on the somatics. You become a different person. There is a new identity shift that happens inside you. The way you speak, the way you breathe, the way you eat, the way you think about life, it really changes. And I'm not talking about simply lifestyle shift. I'm talking about identity shift. Who you are as a person, it becomes a different one. And then we work on all the psychological issue. We work on all the ancestral traumatic issue. We also work on the energetic layers. If you do not know already, even before like practicing or incorporating my knowledge of psychology, because I'm a trained psychologist, I was already doing a lot of spell, a lot of energetical work for people, and people would actually used to get result. And then when I realized that only working for some people, like like doing some ritual energy healing work for some people is not really landing to them, I really had to sit down, what is happening, why it's not landing to them. Then I realized because their body is not opened up, because what is happening inside their mind is not shifted yet. And so I really had to merge all of my learning of psychology, of energetics, of trauma healing, generational work, somatic work. I really have to combine all of this to bring the long lasting result inside my life, inside my client's life. And conscious wealth creator is the result of all the like work merging together, so that the shift that you experience, it's a lifetime shift. For all the people who are interested to join conscious wealth creator and creating the life of abundance with full of fun, full of joy, I am going to attach the link below. Check this out, and also let me know what are the lessons you are taking from today's class and what are the things that you are going to practice, so that you can already start seeing the changes in your body, in your mind. If you have any question, feel free to reach out. Feel free to comment, leave a comment. I am going to check and reply to you. Before I end, I really want to remind you that you are here to actually have all the desire that you have. Your desire is actually the vessel of your, like, a direction for your soul. Your body is the vessel through which you are going to experience everything in your life, and that is why we have to do the somatic work. And your desire is the direction. I have seen many people having the guilt around desire. Oh, how can I, like, charge more money? How can I desire crores and crores of rupees when there are so many people who cannot eat, who do not have proper, like, way of living? And what we talked about, the deeper layer of mind where the guilt is stored, and you are constantly fighting with it. A part of your mind really wants it, but then there is a part that wants to hold you back, and you do not need to. There is a way to work around it. You can work around it. Even simply taking notes from today's class, starting to apply it bit by bit, is really going to bring you a lot of shift. So go apply and create everything that you want to create. I will see you soon.